Hello, YouTube family members and friends. I found a recipe for Jack Jack's Num Num cookies from the Pixar pastry chef. And we thought, hey, we like chocolate chip cookies. Let's go ahead and try to make some on our own. Disclaimer, we have never had a Jack Jack Num Num cookie in the park. So we don't know if these, even when we taste them, if they taste like the original ones. But we do know chocolate chip cookies. We love chocolate chip cookies. So we're gonna go ahead and make that recipe.
So it's Tuesday morning and I did brown the butter this morning and I've waited now for it to be room temperature. After watching several YouTube videos on how to brown butter, a couple of the tips that I saw was number one, to use a light colored pan and to take this very, very slow. Browning butter is not something you can do quickly. It's very slow, and I kept my temperature on my oven. It's between 3 and 5. Very, very lightly, very slow. And then as it browned, the smell, you could tell it was getting really rich, very nutty smell in the whole house. It smelled wonderful, but you had to stay with it. It took about 9 minutes to go from that golden yellow to kind of a golden brown. And now that we have room temperature brown butter, I can take the rest of the ingredients and we can blend it all together now. Now, our second step is to cream together our cooled butter with the sugars.
How much of each sugar?
This is 2 sticks of butter and 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. And now 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And one of the tips that I saw was to make sure that your butter is completely solidified and cooled, or you'll just have a greasy mess here when you put the sugars in. And now we're going to put in 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. All right, our next step is to add vanilla. The recipe calls for vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon, but I prefer vanilla paste. Oh, amazing. Doesn't that smell good?
Mm-hmm.
And the last ingredient in here is going to be salt. 1 teaspoon. So it just says that to mix in extra egg yolk and vanilla until smooth. All right, for our next step, we are going to add our dry ingredients. That's the flour and the baking soda. So let's switch out this bowl with our other bowl. And here you have 2 1/4 cup of flour. And you have 1 teaspoon of baking soda.
Soda or powder?
Baking soda.
Baking soda, okay. That matters.
Okay, now we just want to mix that up. And now we're going to mix our dry ingredients with our wet ingredients. There we go. And she said in the video to do it about 3 or 4 times at just a little bit at a time.
Okay, here's the last bit of the dry ingredients.
Perfect. And for our last step, we're going to add the chocolate chips.
How much?
This is 1 cup of chocolate chips. One of my very own tips that I'd like to share is this is the brand of chocolate chips that we like to use. They're also semi-sweet chocolate because we prefer in our chocolate chip cookies a little bit of that sweet and salty taste and texture. Okay, and so for the last step, we're going to cover this now with some cling wrap, and we're going to refrigerate our cookie dough in the refrigerator. So all those flavors are going to be so amazing. So we have our cookie dough out of the refrigerator now, and the next step says to preheat the oven to 350, which we have. So we're doing 2-ounce balls. I weigh each one. Let's see. Yep, that's 2 ounces. Take a muffin cup, flatten it out, and we have our cookie trays ready, and now they're going in the oven. All right, and now they're going into the oven. We found on the last batch that it said 7 to 10 minutes, but for our oven, we're gonna do 12 minutes. And I like to move my cookie sheets around, so I'm gonna actually set the timer for 6 minutes. And then in 6 minutes, I'm gonna switch them around and do a total of 12 minutes. So the timer went on for 6 minutes, which is halfway. And so we're gonna switch these around. Put that one on the top. And now put this one on the bottom. Okay, so the recipe doesn't actually say to do this. This is just my preference. When the cookies are baking and I'm on my second 6-minute timer, I like to open this up. And I just like to flatten the cookies out a little bit, just a little bit of weight. Take out this second one. And they're doing it pretty good on their own. They like need a little bit of help. I like them to stay in the wrapper and just flatten out just a little bit more. There's that. Okay. And then they're just gonna go like for timer 2 more minutes. Those look good. Very nice. Let those cool down. And I'm going to put them over here, take them off the cookie sheet, and let them cool on the baking rack. Okay, so here's our taste test for 14-minute Num Num cookie. Oh my God. I love that brown butter. Very well cooked on the inside this time. The 12 minutes is definitely underdone. 14 minutes for me is perfect. I like that preference.